We now start with the modeling in Mongoose. It is possible in Mongo to throw any document in it as you like. That's possible. We don't do that. We will use a structure, and that structure is a model. And with Mongoose, that's the database driver, we can model the documents we want to have in our collection. Let me check if we still have that available. Oh, that's there. Localhost. The structure we will use is about the author. We will define an author, a description, a modification date, and a title. That's how our model will look like. And check, that's here. So we go to our code now. We don't need that one, but within server app models we have a books, refactory name, we like this name, and in here we need Mongoose. We define a schema, that's a Mongoose schema, and we will create a model, that's something you have to do, and we will create a custom validator. It's important to talk a little bit about validation. Let me check, we have that here. There are several places where you can do database validation, and you can do it the same validation on several places. You can do that in a database. Typical validations are index, for instance, uniqueness, or that it is required. We can do a validation in the model. We will show you that. We can do that in the application, that's in Node.js, and we can also do that on client side. If you do it on client side, you probably want to do it in one of the other three as well. So back to our code. Here we have our model. That's the schema definition, that's here. So schema name, that's one of the schemas, and that gets some properties, that's an object. We have here the 4 attribute names, title, author, description, modification date. You can see on this page more about the schema types. We define it as string, except the modification date, that will be a date. With some other attributes, for instance required, that's validation, and uniqueness must be true. And for the modification date we also add a default value, that will be the date from the insertion. One of the validations we can do is that we can create a custom validator. For instance, the title must at least be 8 characters long. Otherwise, it will be an invalid title. This validation is very tight connected to the database, and this validation is a validation in the model. There is no such a thing as a length of a specific attribute name from a document in the database, but I can define that in the model. Well, next I name my model book. That will be stored in books. This will be the name from the collection, and this will be the name in the application. And then I define my model. And with this I have defined my model.